You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. How did your week go last week? Mine was like way crazy, but we made it to Monday, March 12th. So thank goodness for that. And upcoming is the Luck of the Green, Leprechauns Day, and all of that. St. Patrick's Day this coming Saturday with lots of things going on. And hope you're listening in. This is Conroe Culture News at Lone Star Community Radio, downtown Conroe, which between the Branding Iron and Conroe Coffee. I am Margie Taylor, your host, as always, for this hour of fun and activities. Last week was like really crazy. We had 9 nominee candidates for the election on Tuesday, and that was a little rough, but we got through that. So now we're going to take it a little easier. My guests today are Katie Krause with Bears, etc., Trey Diller of Inspire Productions, and Ed Dolphin of Bartlett Tree Company. Tree services, and now's the time to start looking at your trees. And if they're not blooming, you need to talk to Ed, because they need water, they need resources, they need nutrients. So Ed's going to tell us a little bit about that. So lots of things coming up, and it's all about the bears and the leprechauns and the trees in this hour. So did you go to any of the events with the Greater Conroe Arts Alliance last week? There was Chalk Up Conroe on Saturday. There was choral groups. There was the Danza Chickasaw Aztec dancers. Lots of activities all through the week. We heard the Texas Tenors last Sunday, a week ago, that started out the Rising Stars and Legends of Texas, week-long activities. In fact, there was something going on every night but Wednesday night. They showed a film documentary about the Crichton Theater and Bonnie and Clyde coming through Conroe, yes indeed. And there was Cecil Shaw Thursday night at Pacific Yard House, a little rhythm and blues and soul train, if any of y'all remember that. So looking forward will be the Shakespeare Festival on Saturday, March 24th from 9 to 6, all free activities, and it will be centered around Founders Plaza Park, which I can see right outside the window here, right by the Owen Theater at the corner of Metcalf and Main. There will be food trucks, there will be performances, there will be local artists, traveling Elizabethan characters, and several different acts going on. And if you want to know more about that, there is an event on the Experience Downtown Conroe Facebook page for you to find out more about that. There's even going to be some sword fighting going on. And when was the last time you saw sword fighting? I hope not recently. But that will be a group that's coming from the Texas Renaissance Festival, a guy named Johnny Ringo. So he will be doing that. There's also going to be a ventriloquist, Phil Nichols, and he will be doing a Battle of the Bards competition. Not sure what that's about, but there will be the Texas Brass Ensemble, a special song and dance excerpt from the Owens' upcoming production of Kiss Me, Kate, and 2 Shakespearean productions, Romeo and Juliet, and the Merry Wives of Windsor, and that will be at 4 o'clock. So we'll talk more about this coming up, but that's going to be March 24th. And of course, also last week was the premiere of the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee over at the Owen Theater, and that premiered Thursday night during the Rising Stars and Legends of Texas. That was a free family event, and then it also had the Friday and Saturday 8 p.m. performances and the 12 p.m. matinee this last Sunday. So the really fun thing about that is, besides being the directorial debut of Marita Kilgore, she's been involved with all kinds of theater performances in the past, but this was the first time she directed it on her own. But they pull out 4 people from the audience to be part of the performance. So you don't always know what's going to happen. And she was sharing with me some unusual things that happened in her first performance. But as an actor, you go with the flow and make it happen. So that's a little spoof that's got some adolescents and adults in it, and go watch that. That is also, again, this Friday and Saturday at the Owen Theater, the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and you can go to owentheater.com to get your tickets. So don't miss that. And then St. Patrick's Day, of course, is coming up March 17th, and Trey Diller's going to talk to us a little bit about the shindig over in the Woodlands. But I'm going to tell you about the things that are going on in downtown Conroe, because that's what we're about. So the Fab Five will be at Pacific Yard House, Folk Family Revival will be at the Corner Pub, and Slim Bob and Little Howard will be on stage at the Red Brick Tavern. My suggestion, hit all three, because it's St. Patrick's Day, and that's what you do. Just make sure that you're wearing green. So other things that are going on, Friday, the Mike Den Band will be at the Red Brick Tavern, Pecos Hank at Corner Pub, Travis Linville at Pacific Yard House, and they're having a performance of Haggard and Jones at the Crichton Theater. Saturday, we've already talked about. Sunday is Gospel Sunday Brunch at the Red Brick Tavern and a matinee performance of the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee at the Owen Theater. So we're going to take a quick break and be back with my first guest, Katie Krause, who's going to tell us about the Bears and more. I'm Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Cultural News.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris.
And we're with the Ticket Stub Podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show.
If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub Podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
Okay, we are back. I'm Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture News, and my first guest is Miss Katie Krause. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Of course, Katie, I think, has been on here like this is the 3rd time or something. But for anybody who doesn't know you, which I don't know why they wouldn't, because you're all about the bears, right? And other animals like
I am
the
known
turtles
as the bear lady.
and anything else. Yeah, so she has on her bear T-shirt. So bear with us here today. Katie, tell me about Bears, Etc.
So Bears Etc. Is an exotic animal refuge. We are rescuing exotic animals out of the pet trade, specifically bears. And right now we have large tortoises that people found out that they just weren't able to take care of them for their life expectancy. So we have 60-pound tortoises that are in our backyard, and then we have smaller tortoises. They're still inside, but they have outdoor enclosures once it really gets warmed up. But we're looking for a property so that way we can start rescuing bears, and that's what the 2 events. We have our capital campaign and then a fundraising event coming up.
So when did you start this? A year ago?
We celebrated our 1-year anniversary a week ago Saturday.
Woohoo!
I know, we're so excited.
So what has happened since a year?
In a year. Oh my gosh.
Not detail. But so you started with this idea.
Yes.
And where's it at now?
So where it's at now is a lot of networking, a lot of support, but we're still at that point where we're still fundraising to get that property so that way we can start rescuing bears, because that's the need right now. There's currently 1,000 bears living in subpar conditions in people's backyards across the United States as pets.
As pets.
As pets. So currently I'm helping to network. A gentleman has cancer. He has 5 bears. So we have found placement for them at another facility, and now we're working on a transport plan. So these things come up. You know, people have these exotics as pets, and then things happen, or they just find out that they can't take care of them because a black bear itself can eat 40 pounds of produce a day. that's a lot of money. That's almost $200
is.
a week to just feed one single bear, plus caging, and everything else to keep them in. So they think it'll be a good idea, and then they realize, oh my gosh, I just can't handle this. I just can't do this. And so we currently are just helping find placement for animals until we find a property and can get up and running to rescue the bears.
So is there another bear sanctuary anywhere?
No, there's other bear facilities, like there's education facilities and things like that, but there's no one doing what we're doing. There's big cat sanctuaries, there's wolf and wolf dog sanctuaries. There's 5 big cat sanctuaries around the Dallas area. We have the wolf dog sanctuary in Montgomery, but there's no bear sanctuaries. So, yeah.
So tell me about the bears that are around the Houston area. Us in Houston, let's say.
Us in Houston.
Or anywhere else, Walker or San Jacinto County,
So there's several people kind of in the area. There's probably a handful of bears that people have as pets in the area. Also, part of our education piece is the wild bears that are moving back in. So we need to, talk about that as well, which we can do when people can see that the black bears aren't very big. They're not these large, dangerous creatures that film and TV shows and stuff like that has made them out to be. We've been conditioned since we were little that, these are large, dangerous carnivores. And they do need to be respected, but also admired and looked at, and they're important to our ecosystem in the area. So
are there some in the Sam Houston area there?
Yes, my husband and I have seen scat and print in Sam Houston from bears, but they're transient males is what they're tracking that are coming through here. So which means they come, they check it out, they keep going. There's no resident populations here, but there is a resident population over in Big Bend of about 50 bears. So if you want to go see bears, that's an excellent place to go see bears.
They come, they check it out. No, sorry, not interested. It sounds interesting. Okay, so tell me about the One campaign.
So for our 1-year anniversary, we've started our Be the One campaign. That's our capital campaign where we're looking to reach 1 million people to donate $1 to our cause for the 1,000.
Doable. Very doable.
Yes, and I'm probably at about 15,000 people so far for the year. So I'm very excited. So if you're a member of a women's organization, a men's organization, a Rotary, a Lions Club, I'm even able to go into classrooms around the world, video conference, and talk to you about the bears and what we're doing.
That's exciting.
So yeah, invite me in.
Okay, so $1 and share it.
Yes, share us one time on your.
But you'll take more than $1.
Oh my gosh, we'll take more than $1. Yes.
So, so on your website, is that a place where people could donate?
Yeah, you go to the www.bearsetcetera.org and click on the How You Can Help, and it'll take you to our PayPal. Or you can go to our Facebook page. There's a CrowdRise campaign, or our PayPal is right there to be able to donate to.
Easy.
Very easy.
Easy. So what other kind of animals have you seen besides the turtles and some bear tracks around the county that you've been assisting with?
Oh my gosh. We have 3 foster dogs currently, but we've also, we have other friends who maybe have genets or,
wait,
it's
back
almost
up. They have what?
Genets.
What is that?
Oh my gosh, I am not as familiar with them.
Is it like a bear or is it like a turtle?
No, it's a small mammal, almost raccoon-like. I guess I'm not as familiar with them. But then I have a friend who runs a lemur refuge, so I network when lemurs need pets. I network with her, and she can take them in. Or we're almost on the 2-year anniversary of the Memorial Day weekend floods, and that's when the Conroe tiger cub was found walking at League Line in Longmire. So talking to people about that and how this is a first responder, it puts them in danger when these animals get loose. Thank goodness this was a cub, but if this was a full-size tiger that had gotten loose, it's definitely, our first responders deal with enough, to walk into a
Wait,
house.
would they even know how to respond to that?
I don't think so. There's
You're
no
not-
training for that.
No, there's no training for if a tiger walks down your road.
No, no. And I sat in Sergeant Waller's office after the fact talking to him, and I even put on a first responders for Montgomery County, brought in a speaker for them to talk about what to do if something like this were to happen, and nobody showed up.
So if somebody sees an animal that they know is not a dog or a cat, who do they call?
Well, you can call animal control. You can call your sheriff's department. You can call us, and we can get you in touch with my contact information is on our website. Call us, and we can get you in contact with the right people. Because it is illegal to have them in Montgomery County or Harris County without proper permits.
Okay.
So yeah. So if there's any questions, then they would need to contact the right people.
So that's part of the et cetera in
Yes.
bears, et cetera.
Yes. Well, and
So-
the other part of the et cetera is our food forest and our pollinator refuge that we're doing. And also the et cetera is helping the veterans. We'll have on-site housing for veterans. We can work with Texas A&M with a big welding. They have a big welding bus, and they'll bring it and they'll train veterans for free. The veterans can weld our cages to keep the bears in,
Wow.
and they can build their resume and they can go out and get a job. So
Okay.
there's the whole big et cetera part of that.
Things have changed
They
in the
have a
last
lot.
year. Yes,
Yeah.
because I think it was around a year when you came on, and there was another time you came on in between.
Yeah.
But things have really progressed quite a bit.
Yes.
So I'm very excited for you. So do you do anything with coyotes?
I don't.
Coyotes are coming closer in too.
They are, and they urbanize very easily. They're very opportunistic. So the best thing to do is to bring in your cat food, anything pet-wise, food-wise.
Your little dogs.
Your little dogs, yes. At night, don't let them off leash or leave them out, in the dark. Be out there with a flashlight and watching for them.
They jump fences.
Yes, they can. So it's just very important to make sure that there's no trash out there because they'll eat trash. They're really opportunistic feeders. So just make sure that all of that is put away and not draw them in.
Wow. So tell me about your Reason to Race.
So we've joined Reason to Race. They're an organization that helps with peer-to-peer fundraising for different events around the Houston area. So we are participating in the Minute Maid 5K, 10K run and walk. I'm walking. And it's on March 24th. And we are looking for sponsors for our team members or people to run with us. And Reason to Race gives us a platform to be able to do that easily. So we're very excited to be partnering with them. So if you're interested in sponsoring, if you're a business or a person that would like to sponsor our team, that would be great, or an individual on our team, or if you want to run as a part of our team, we would love that as well.
Okay, well, very good. So people can find out again at bearsetc.org, and you have the same name for your Facebook page,
Correct.
which is Bears ETC.
Yes.
And you're kind of a girl about town because I know I've seen you in many different places.
I am everywhere helping
Yeah.
everybody.
No, that's good. So, I mean, you're kind of an expert on any kind of animals, including the
Yes.
dogs and the cats. So
Yes,
the domestic and non-domestic animals.
I've been doing this for 22 years, so I have a wealth of knowledge.
Okay. So get involved, join
Yes,
the One
please.
campaign, go to Bears, etc., find out more about Katie, and maybe be her friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be good. So
I'm an extrovert. I like lots of friends.
yes, one could never guess that. Okay, we're going to take a break and get ready for our next guest, which is Trey Diller, and he's going to tell us about his inspiring productions, and especially his one coming up this Saturday out in the Woodlands, and it has to do with St. Patrick's Day. I'm Margie Taylor, your host, and we'll be right back.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776.
Food
We got
trucks?
6 different food vendors.
What kind of food trucks?
We got, Brazilian Joe's.
That's cool.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
Food we got Lokahai Fire, which is a Hawaiian food vendor.
Well, that's interesting.
Let me
Hadn't
think
heard
who
about
else.
that.
Patio.
Meat Patio. They got great tacos.
Okay. Barbecue? Any barbecue?
No barbecue.
No barbecue. Well, there's plenty of food and
Kono
green
pizza.
beer.
Kono pizza. Pizza
Okay.
cone. We'll have bagpiper. We'll have a bagpiper
A
on site.
bagpiper. Well, that's pretty awesome.
Yep. And we will have Irish dancers. They will be going on from 7:30 to 8:30. It's a Cass Barrington Academy of Irish Dance. So, pretty
Wow.
cool.
Hadn't heard that there was such a place.
Yep, there is.
They're pretty
And you
popular,
found 'em.
actually.
Yeah.
So tell me about Inspire Productions. When did you guys get started with this?
So we started Inspire Productions last year. That was our first full calendar year as a partner, and basically we're a full turnkey event production company based in the Woodlands. Last year we had 8 events on the calendar, from Ray Lewis Super Bowl party to a St. Patrick's Day to a Lucky Irish St. Patrick's Day in Old Town Spring, then a Texas Taco Tequila Margarita Festival twice, one here in Conroe. We did the Truck or Treat Halloween-themed food truck festival here in Conroe.
We did. You had a lot of people.
Had a lot of people, good turnout. They liked it. And then we did Beyond the Pints craft beer and music festival as well, which was a very big event here in the Woodlands.
So what is the admission price for Saturday?
Right now, actually, today we're doing BOGO Monday, so it's buy one, get one free.
Okay.
We also have VIP tickets, which are $60. That includes a few drinks, a food voucher, private area, private restrooms, and a few other cool perks. But then at the gate, they'll be $10. Right now, after BOGO Monday, the tickets will be $5 until Saturday, and then they'll be $10 at the door.
$10 at the door. Sounds very reasonable. Very affordable.
Totally reasonable.
Okay, so what do you have for the kids? Is this just an adult party, or can kids go?
Kids are at every single one of our events. We have a kid zone, and ages 12 and under are free to every festival that we produce. Have a couple inflatables. We have a bungee trampoline area, and then something for the entire family that we are incorporating this year at all the events is a themed photo area. So last event was the Masquerade Woodlands Mardi Gras Festival, and we had a Bourbon Street themed photo area, and people loved it.
That's fun.
So,
That's a fun idea.
yeah, it was a nice prop. It's just good marketing avenue, and so we have some pretty cool, unique setups for this weekend. I'm not going to spill the beans just yet, but you're gonna have to come out and find out and have a great time.
There might be some leprechauns.
There might be,
There,
or a
you
unicorn.
just never know. Okay, keep the mystery going.
Keep it going.
So, what got you guys involved in doing this, in creating these big events? This guy. Okay, so you're pointing to Trey. Trey, you're the inspiration.
I wouldn't say I'm the inspiration. I've done this is my 3rd year doing festivals now. Started out with the sneakers. Well, it started out in high school, actually, after party celebrations at my parents' house
Oh.
for football games. And
I'll bet that was fun.
yeah, it was a good time. And then we got to college and started the alcohol consumption and started charging people to get into my door. And I would buy the alcohol and they would pay me a fee and drink whatever they wanted. And I made a little bit of money doing that. And then actually went out to a festival in Colorado in 2015 and was just inspired. I mean, it was awesome. And I said, well, I think we could put something like this together in the Woodlands. You know, I think they would like it. There's a lot of people that are looking for things to do in the Woodlands, so let's go back to town and do it. And so that's what I did. I created Beyond the Pines Music Festival. Brought in Aaron Watson and Shooter Jennings and Lucas Nelson. And I'm no longer affiliated with that festival. I'll leave that off the radio. But,
Okay. You just said it though, so.
Well, and
That's okay.
So, and then after that event, I did 2 other festivals by myself, and it just got to the point where it's just a lot of work. I mean, this is not a one-man or even a 2-man job. I mean, it takes an entire team to produce a festival on the scale that we are doing. We're bringing in 5,000 to 30,000 people in one day. It's a lot of people.
So do you have sponsors for this one coming up Saturday?
We do.
Yeah, we do. We have,
Who do you have?
the Woodlands Financial Group. Mark Glog, he's a rep over there, and he's sponsored the event. Who else do we have?
What's the beer?
Irish. It's a Breckenridge Brewery, Nitro Irish Stout. They're going to be, they're like kind of new to Texas. They're a Colorado brewery, and we're going to be selling a bunch of their Irish stout beer.
Sounds like good branding for them.
For sure. It's definitely
You
a
know.
fitting event.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
see the entry banner. It was very good branding for them.
Okay, well, very good. All right. And so then the next event coming up is at the Music Fest, the Woodlands Music Fest at the end of the month?
Tribute to the Woodlands Music Festival. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then you came to Conroe and did a couple of festivals. So what brought you from Woodlands to Conroe? And is that going to be a theme to do a little both?
Yeah, we have one event on the calendar right now this year in Conroe. It's actually the Texas Taco Tequila Margarita Festival, September 8th, downtown Conroe. Conroe is the fastest growing city in the United States right now. So
Don't I know it?
why not
That's
bring
right.
something to the city that's the fastest growing?
Yeah.
I mean, we're only a couple minutes up the road, and so the Woodlands, they're
Don't
very
say anything
filled.
bad.
No, I
Okay.
can't. I mean, there's nothing really to say
Okay.
bad, but they have a full calendar of events already on their schedule, and so once it's booked, it's closed. So
Right.
the entire year right now is completely booked for the Woodlands.
Wow.
Every single weekend, and we have 9 we have 9 of those out of 52 weekends.
Wow.
So
Well, it's good.
yep.
Well, you can't have them every weekend because it's just so draining, and there's just so much to do, and it's costly too to put on these big festivals.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm glad you're going to do some in Conroe because I know you've had a great audience, and it actually helps the other venues downtown Conroe too when
Yeah.
you have it.
For sure.
You know, I mean, we have the 3 venues that have live music and entertainment, and by going to yours and it ends at, let's say, 10 or so, then they come back and listen to live entertainment either at Red Brick Tavern, Corner Pub, or Pacific Yard House as well. Plus, it brings in just more traffic and more people seeing what's going on and around.
For sure.
So you help the economy. So thank you. That's a good
Yes,
thing.
ma'am.
That's a good thing.
100%, yeah.
Of course, there's always Lone Star Community Radio in downtown Conroe too. You know. So,
You guys
okay.
should come out and cover the event, you know?
Yeah, so, you know, all of your events are very nicely put on your homepage, which is inspireprod.com. Of course, you can always Google Inspire Productions and find it just as easily, and you have your Facebook page as well. You have Instagram, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, good.
At Inspire Productions LLC.
Okay. So, what's the most exciting thing about what you're doing? What do you love the most?
That every day is different.
It
Every
is,
day is
yeah.
different, and just looking out into the crowd the day of the event and seeing people have a good time. That's really why I love doing the events, is giving people an experience to remember. That's our tagline.
That's your
as
tagline, an
well.
experience to remember.
But,
I've seen that.
I mean, yeah, just giving them something to talk about down the road, and letting people come out and meet new friends and have a good time.
Now, I saw that you do some nonprofit work too. Tell me about that. I
Yes,
couldn't
so-
find an answer on that, of what you do.
So every event we do, we partner with a nonprofit.
Okay.
We've partnered with a lot of different ones, and sometimes they might bring volunteers, or sometimes we might just give them a lot of exposure, and then we'll also give them a portion of the proceeds of the event at the end.
So who are you partnering with for this Saturday coming up?
Kiwanis Club.
Kiwanis Club?
Kiwanis Club, yes, ma'am.
The one at the Woodlands?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, very
Yes, ma'am.
good.
And then March 31st is Memorial Herman Tier.
Okay.
in the
Well, that's good
Woodlands.
that you do that.
Yes, ma'am.
So we just had Bears Etc. on here that are all about saving the exotic animals. So maybe
Bears
you,
Etc..
maybe you could, yes, Bears Etc. Maybe you could talk to Miss Katie over there. So, okay,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay,
ma'am. I
we'll
must say,
talk later about
we've
that.
talked before.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just thought I'd throw that in since everybody's in the same room here. Anything else you want? Okay.
Got
Yeah,
Santa
we have
Claus
Santa
and
Claus.
bears in the room.
Santa
We will
Claus,
have Santa
leprechauns,
Claus.
bears. I mean,
December 15th.
we let everybody in. So, anyhow, well, we need to wrap up this segment. So, we want people to come out on this Saturday, March 17th. It starts at noon and goes till 10 p.m. with live music. You have your themed photo area. You have a kids zone. You have the VIP tickets. You have BOGO Monday. And the best way they can get tickets is to go to your website or what?
They can go to the website. They can go to Facebook. It's an Eventbrite link, so the link
Okay.
is posted all over.
So it's
our
real easy to
Facebook,
do.
And, yeah, you can buy them straight off our website too.
Okay. Well, thank you guys and happy birthday, Trey.
Thank you, Margie.
All right. So I have Trey Diller and Mike Nyam here of Inspire Productions. Go to inspireprod.com or Facebook to find all their fabulous events. I'm Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture. We'll be right back with Ed Dolphin, the tree expert.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Relax with a cup of joe or your favorite drink for the Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce Chamber Chat. The show airs on the first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. on Lone Star Community Radio. Join hosts Courtney Galley and Brian Bondi as they chat about the Chamber's events and programs for the month and invite Chamber members into the studio to talk about their upcoming events and businesses. Learn about your Chamber with Chamber Chat every first Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Hello, everyone. Margie Taylor, host for Conroe Culture News. And my last guest today on this wonderful, beautiful Monday is Ed Dolphin. He is the tree expert with Bartlett Trees. And he's going to tell us about what's the most important thing you need to be doing with your trees right now. Welcome, Ed.
Thank you, Margie. I appreciate that. It's a wonderful day to be outside. I would encourage everybody to go outside and hug a tree today.
Yes, I love trees.
I do too.
I know you do. But there's just so many different trees, and right now they're out blooming. Most of them are blooming,
And the
right?
pollen
Getting
is
their
coming
bud.
down with vengeance, and everybody's allergies are going nuts.
Does it bother you?
A little bit, but
Really?
I think it's Zyrtec, and I don't worry about it.
It doesn't bother me.
Well, that's good.
It's just a nuisance because then you get it all over your shoes and your feet and everywhere that
Your
you
car.
step and your car.
Your furniture.
But I prefer it over the love bugs.
Oh, no doubt.
I don't like the love bugs
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. The trees are blooming. Right now I noticed this morning beautiful red buds and Chinese fringe tree right on the edge of the forest and little white flowers. It was just an absolutely beautiful time.
This is
to
the
be.
best time. I love it. The weather is pretty perfect.
Yep.
It's a little cooler at night.
We could
and
use some rain.
in the morning.
Notice
yes.
that the ground is starting to dry out, and that's one of the things that, a lot of people don't really think about, do I need to water? And the answer to that question is yes, you do.
All the time, right?
You know, I mean, the rule of thumb is an inch of water a week, 52 weeks a year, taking into consideration rainfall or lack thereof. You know, and after Harvey, I had people saying, well, you know, we got 42 inches of rain. I don't need water for the rest of the year, right? It's like, no, you're good for about 2 weeks, because the rain, a lot of that ran off and it didn't absorb into the ground. But what we did absorb into the ground was gone 2 weeks after Harvey was history. But the most important thing that most people don't realize is they are the single point at water management at their house, whether it's a property or commercial property or residential property. Water is the single most important element in life, and without it, you die.
So what do you suggest? They stand there with their hose and water? Because,
No.
you know,
That's
sprinklers.
That's not a good way to spend your time.
Well, then, so how should they maintain their trees?
So the best way to know how much water you deliver, if you have an irrigation system, simply set a measuring device out. Now, a measuring device could be a cocktail glass. It could be a tuna fish can. You know, you run down to Walmart and buy a rain gauge. But measure how much you currently deliver, and then do the math on how long you ran it to determine how long does it take to deliver 1 inch of water. Split that in half, and water twice a week, delivering 1/2 of an inch. If you are like me and you drag a hose, you know, just set your device out there. Here's what I tell people: if you water with a hose, make sure you turn it on full blast every time, and you use the same size hose and the same apparatus, and measure how much you deliver. At my house, it takes 12 hours to deliver 1 inch. But I've got an impact head. It's one of those things that go, you know, just keeps going around in circles. But it only delivers, literally drops in any one location every time it goes around. So it takes a long time. Now I don't water 12 hours at a time. It would probably burn my well up. I water 2 hours at a time. I put it on a timer. I've got one of those, you know, little kitchen timer type of things that turns the water off when you're done or after 2 hours. And so I set it out, and I know where it, you know, and turn it on and let it go. And the next day when I get up or when I get home, I move it again and turn it on 2 hours and let it go. It takes me a week to water my yard, 2 hours at a time.
So what happens if you don't take care of your tree and water it?
Well, the bottom line is it's going to stress. And when the trees are stressed, then they're vulnerable to pestilence and disease. I've already seen a pine tree this year with pine bark beetle in it. And when the lady called me and told me that she thought her pine tree had pine bark beetle, I said, no, it's way too early for that. You know, after the type of winter that we had, I thought that she was being told something by another company just to get her money. And sure enough, I went out and looked at the tree, and it had pine bark beetle in it. And I was quite astounded that the activity level has already started, because typically these things don't get going really until May, June, when the stress levels begin to go up.
Because of the temperature, right? Okay.
Yeah. Because when a tree is under stress, it produces a pheromone, and that pheromone attracts the insects. It's just like if you have a particular perfume on that your husband finds attractive, he's gonna come to you. And when trees are under stress, they produce this pheromone, and it attracts the insect. And the female comes up and she lays her eggs, and then that produces a pheromone which attracts the male, and he fertilizes them. And then from there, it's the larvae stage of the insect life that actually kills the tree. I was quite surprised that her tree had pine bark beetle in it, so that tells me that they're going to be active this year.
So what happens when you discover that? Is there anything you can do, or is the tree at a loss?
At that point, for her particular tree, the tree was dead, and it's being taken down next week.
Wow.
Are there things that you can do to treat for trees that have insects?
Yes.
There are. Your timing has to be really good if the tree has the insect in it now. Preferably, we can treat to prevent. And
Always better.
And
yeah.
I mean, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
Like going to the dentist.
Exactly. I mean, here's what I tell people. Look, if you water right and you let us come in and deep root fertilize your trees once a year and you promote their health, they will stave off the pestilence and disease. They've got a really good defense system built in by God, and they know how to work it, but they have to be healthy. It's just like us. When we get stressed, we're more vulnerable
Right.
to getting sick. And trees aren't no different.
So tell me about the deep root fertilization. Now is a good time for that.
You know what? There's such a big, huge window for being the prime time for that. Literally, the prime time for that goes from October to April. So we're getting to the end of that window, but it's never a bad time to promote the health. And so the way that Bartlett Tree Experts Deep Root fertilizes trees is we use a product that is proprietary. It's developed by my company called Boost Texas. And it has an added ingredient of sulfur besides the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium trace elements that natural fertilizers have. It's an organic product. It's a very good product. And we inject it in the ground at a depth of 6 to 8 inches under the canopy of the tree every 3 feet. And it's a slow release, so you're not going to flush new growth out on your tree the way you would with grass after you fertilize it. But it's a great product, and if you did that once a year is good, twice a year is even better, and over a period of 3 years, you'll see a substantial difference in the overall health and vigor of your tree.
Okay, so if somebody wanted to get you to come out and look at their trees, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Well, they could call my cell phone. That's probably the easiest thing to do. And that number is 713-703-2701. If they want to check out the company, it's bartlett.com. And Bartlett Tree Experts literally is 110 years old. It was started by F.A. Bartlett in 1907. We have locations all over the United States. And I run the location in the Spring office. And I live in Conroe. I operate all over the North Houston metro area for Bartlett.
So you're always out looking at trying to help the community in the trees, whether it's residential,
Absolutely.
commercial, and you're pretty easily found, and you're connected to the community.
You can go to our Facebook page, Bartlett Tree Experts on Facebook.
In the Woodlands, yes.
Yep. Or even my name, Ed Dolphin. Just look me up on Facebook. I have a lot of people contact me through instant messenger on Facebook to come out and look at their trees. I look at it this way. I don't care how you contact me. You can call me on my cell. You can call the office. You can send me a text. You can send me a text message through Facebook. It doesn't matter. I get it. I respond in every way.
Any way possible.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have over 25 years experience, right?
Yep,
As an arborist.
Yep, I'm certified arborist through the International Society of Arboriculture. And generally speaking, for the consumers out there, you're dealing with somebody that knows what they're talking about if you're dealing with a certified arborist. Generally speaking, certified arborists work for companies that are also properly insured. And I say properly insured. Most tree companies don't carry workers' compensation insurance because it's expensive, and I understand that. But if you're hiring somebody to work on your trees, please hear this. If you're hiring somebody to work on your trees and they do not carry workers' comp and somebody gets hurt on your property, call your attorney before you call your insurance company because they are going to sue you.
Oh my gosh.
I
bet there's been bad accidents.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, the tree business is a very dangerous business to operate. When you're 90 feet up in a tree and something happens, it's generally not a good thing.
Have you been up there and done that?
Well, not gotten hurt, but I have.
No, I didn't.
I have
mean
been
that.
to the top of the tree.
Yes. Okay.
And it's one of those things that when you're that high up and you're looking down, it gives the world a whole new perspective. It's really cool.
I'll take your word for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go to bartlett.com and you can tag him there. You could go to Facebook. You can Google Ed Dolphin, or you can contact me at Conroe Culture News or Margie at Taylorized PR, and I will get you connected with Ed. So that's a wrap for our show today. And again, I'm your host, Margie Taylor, Conroe Culture News, and watch for our YouTube video on this segment that will come out on Wednesday. Thank you, and have a great day. Next week, we will have J.D. Lambright, our Montgomery County attorney, and Kristen Bays, the newest judge in town.
Thank you for checking out this production of Lone Star Community Radio. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station. Don't forget to check out this show and many others across the Lone Star Community Radio Network, either live on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, the Lone Star Internet Radio app, or irlonestar.com's live audio stream, and on replay on podcast, Channel 12's Our City TV in Conroe, or Channel 21 KVQT in Houston, and of course their YouTube channel. This production is copyrighted and all rights are reserved by Lone Star Community Radio. Have a question regarding this program or other Lone Star Community Radio shows? Want to sponsor or start your own show? Call the station message line at 936-647-3776 or email the station at lscrstudios@gmail.com.